I'm bringing you another Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi Battle against passerby Darkoni. This was a fun one. He had a pretty heavily overused team. I know I say that a lot, but it was pretty fun. Brought the same team as I did last video. So enough chit chat, let's get right into the battle. Alright, so I lead off with my Steamrolled, my Stunfisk, and he leads off with his Miltank. As you'll see throughout this entire battle, that Miltank is just a huge problem for me. He goes ahead for the Toxic, which surprisingly Stunfisk stays around for a while, and I get up my Stealth Rocks just because I know that Charizard's lurking back there, and I want to get half damage on it when it comes in so that someone can just finish it off. So he goes for the Body Slam here, and Static actually comes in handy a lot this battle. You'll see it paralyzes the Miltank, but I go for a Toxic expecting the Static not to do any damage. Maybe get a Toxic on there, force it to heal Bell, do some passive damage, but didn't happen. So I switch out my Steamrolled here. And I believe, yeah, I go out into Jude, my Throw, who really does a lot of work to this Miltank. Like, it doesn't mind being toxic because of the Guts ability, so they'll get that nice attack boost. So out comes two tours, the Conch Elder, and I just take this opportunity to set up a bulk up. I know it's a little early to be setting up, but Throw has quite a bit of bulk, so if he just wants to attack me with the Poison Jab, I'll just keep setting up the bulk ups. A lot of the stuff he's going to want to do to me doesn't do too much damage, and that's awesome too, because I go for the I go for the Circle Throw, and just do some phasing, and I get the Guts boost on that actually, so it does over half. So Throw is looking like it's in pretty good shape right here. I don't think he really wants to stay in with the Miltank here because it'll just do so much damage to him. So I take this opportunity to put up another bulk up and get a little more damage output from this Throw. Because the Conch Elder can't really touch me unless he gets a crit, which, you know, knowing my luck, tends to happen. So we'll save that for later. But yeah, he's just going to go for the Drain Punch, get a bit of his HP back. I could survive another one and probably get off another Circle Throw, but I just decide to go for the rest. This Throw has the Chesto Berry, so it wakes up right away. And it kind of sucks because I don't have my Guts boost anymore, but I'm still at +2 attack, +2 defense, so it's not that big a deal. So he's just going to keep Drain Punching with this thing. I end up going for another Circle Throw, which is just going to phase him out and continually do damage to whatever wants to come in. And in comes the Azumarill, so this kind of scared me. I anticipated him predicting my switch here, which, as you'll see in a minute, he ends up doing. He just goes for the Aqua Jet, which I think was a huge misplay on his part, because I packed the Poison Jab on this Throw just for a situation like this, for any fairies or grass types that think they can wall me. Yeah, Poison Jab just does the work. So I end up outspeeding the Azumarill as well. I was pretty surprised about that, but it hits him with a crit, doesn't matter, but that's a huge threat right out of the way. So now he's going to send in the Thundurus. I don't know if he realized that my Throw had Guts. Like, I've had a few people who just don't, like, they have no problem, like, Will-O-Wisping or Toxicking or Thunder Waving this Throw, which, you know what, it works out for me because that Circle Throw did a ton of damage to that Thundurus. So out comes two tours again, and I'm like, okay, I'm in pretty good shape. He goes for the Drain Punch here, and he ends up getting the crit and taking out Jude, which is something I was just not too stoked for. Sorry, that was my phone going off. Disregard that. But yeah, so Throws down, which sucks because I thought I was going to get a nice little sweep going with him. And I just end up going for the Choice Banded Brave Bird with Vickers against the Conch Elder, and there's no way that thing's living that. So yeah, that's another huge physical threat down. So yeah, he sends back out the Thundurus, and I'm expecting an electric attack here. So I'm going to switch right back into Steamrolled. It's awesome because the rocks are up, so if that thing wants to switch out, it kind of has to... It's just going to die to Stealth Rocks later. I know he still has the Excadrill with the Rapid Spin, but I do bring the Mismagius to spin block for just such an occasion. So I'm sitting pretty here. Sitting pretty squared. We'll call it that. So yeah, in comes the Excadrill. I don't know why I went for the Thunderbolt. I know I went for the Thunderbolt here, just a stupid play on my part. And I figure he's going to go for the Rapid Spin, so I could maybe get a free Earth Power off on this thing. So that's my thinking for this next move. Sorry, it's a little, I'm getting ahead of myself with all these after the turn effects going on. So he goes for the Rapid Spin. Static comes through again, gets the paralysis on Excadrill. How often do you see a paralyzed Excadrill? Not too often. So yeah, I just go for the Earth Power. It does about half, but with leftovers it's not going to kill him. So yeah, I take this opportunity to switch out, I believe. Sorry, getting ahead of myself again. Slow down, Canuckadile. Oh, he withdraws as well. So I just end up going for the Earth Power again with Stunfisk. Oh no, I get my Stealth Rocks up again. That's correct, because I want those for the Charizard. There's nothing I hate more than a Mega Charizard Y that gets an opportunity to just run train on my team. And it does some pretty hefty damage to a lot of Pokemon on my team. So if I could get it down to health on the switch, half health on the switch in, I'd prefer that. So here I send in Hermione. He just goes for the Heal Bell. Like this Mismagius is just amazing with Taunt. It helps so much for these stupid, bulky status Pokemon like Miltank and Chansey. So I end up just going for the Will-O-Wisp here. For whatever reason, I got really, like, that was a bit of a misplay. I got really lucky on that. And so yeah, I just end up going for the Taunt because I know he wants this thing Toxic. But yeah, so this thing is kind of useless right now. It can't hit me with the Body Slam because I know it's got thick fat, even though you'll see later on in the battle, I forget it has thick fat, but we'll save that for what it is. So in comes Organa. I have a feeling Excadrill is coming back in. Yeah, so I believe he goes for the Rapid Spin again, and then I just take this opportunity to, yeah, to switch. Oh no, he switches out. That's right, he's pretty afraid of the Slappers. So I just go for the Waterfall here, and it's going to do a significant chunk of damage. Like, I know Miltank's defensive, but it's Stab. This is a max attack, max HP Lapras. So it can take hits pretty well. It's got the Assault Vest as well, so it can take special hits pretty well, and it can dish out some pretty good damage. I really like this Lapras, and this is the beginning of just the annoying, stally milk drink session that this Miltank had on me. So yeah, as you'll see later on in the episode, like this is already kind of a long video to begin with, but I had to speed up a significant chunk of it because this Miltank causes me some problems later on. So yeah, I switch out Organa, and then I go back into D's Coconuts, the super mature nickname. And I see this as an opportunity just to Giga Drain, get some damage off. It's Stab, it has a lot of special attack. So yeah, maybe get some HP back. So he goes for the Heal Bell, get rid of that burn. That's really, really quite annoying. So I just go for the Giga Drain. Miltank's not that specially defensive, so I get a decent chunk of damage there. Another one's going to KO it if it doesn't decide to Milk Drink, which it, of course, why would I assume it doesn't it doesn't go for the Milk Drink, because it's a fucking Miltank. It just goes for the Milk Drink. So I kind of expected the Excadrill switch here, so I'm carrying Hidden Power Fire on this, and you'll see with the thick fat that does absolutely nothing. So yeah, I kind of want to get my Mismagius in here, just to, oh no, not my Mismagius, my Stunfisk, kind of to just do its work. It's my defensive wall. And Static, that's a third Static that's the Stunfisk has gotten off, so I'm pretty stoked on that. And I believe it just stays in and Heal Bells again. I'm sorry, I keep getting ahead of myself. I thought speeding up the episode I'd be able to commentate a little better, but not really. So yeah, in comes the Mismagius. He's gonna just Heal Bell again. He doesn't want any statuses on any of his Pokemon, so you know what, if he's gonna eat up a turn and give me a free switch in, I don't mind that too much. So I just end up taunting here because I thought he would be kind of wise to that right now, but he still just went for the toxic. This thing is kind of useless without its status moves. So yeah, in comes the Excadrill, and I just saw this as an opportunity to go for the Will-O-Wisp because I kind of predicted the Excadrill to come in, maybe hit me with an Earthquake with that Mold Breaker. So yeah, it's not going to appreciate, that thing does not appreciate being burned. I also I took kind of a risky move here. I know it was the obvious play, but I thought he might predict it. And I end up just going for the Hex here. I thought the Miltank might come back in, but if I could get rid of this Excadrill, I would not mind. And he ends up going for the Rapid Spin, which is a questionable play. Like, if I see no reason to have switched out there. Maybe he was just kind of doing a last-ditch effort to get rid of those Stealth Rocks. But yeah, in comes the Charizard, the thing I was fearing the most out of anything. So I just, like, Miss Magius kind of did her job. She spin blocked that stupid Excadrill. So I know I outspeed before the Mega Evolution. So I just saw this as an opportunity to get some damage off with Hex, which is what I end up doing. Not too much damage, but the Fire Blast, obviously. Like, I know Miss Magius has pretty good special defense, but I'm not invested. I'm invested in HP and speed, and a Fire Blast in the Sun, of course, is going to one-shot me. So in comes Bickers. I know a Quick Attack, a Choice Band Quick Attack from this range will take it out. And yeah, so now that's the third huge offensive threat down. So in comes the Miltank again, just having a blast with this stupid friggin' Miltank. So I see this as a good opportunity to just kind of send in Steamrolled. I know he wants to get a Toxic off, so if I can avoid anything else getting Toxic, that's kind of like key, because I know this thing just wants to play the stall game all goddamn day, and I'm having none of that shit. So I'm just going to stay in, try and get as much damage off to this thing as I can. Steamrolled has also really done his job. I don't know, he was expecting me to switch out again. I don't know what his plan was here, but I wasn't falling for it. Like, it seems questionable to me. But yeah, so Steamrolled's gonna live one more round of Toxic, and I think maybe he was just trying to stall me out. Like, didn't want to get paralyzed again. I think that's what it is. He didn't want to get paralyzed again, so he was just gonna let Toxic do its job, take me out. And yeah, that's what it ends up doing, because Steamrolled has done its job. He got the rocks up. He got a couple paralyses on them. He annoyed. He did his job. So good job, Steamrolled. And you got a chunk off on the Excadrill, so that's what matters. Here is where I speed up, because this Miltank's fucking annoying. I don't know if you could tell because it was so sped up, but he paralyzed me with the first body slam, and it turns out these coconuts, out of all those turns, I think it was about 10-15 turns of me just Giga Draining him, milk drinking, me trying to PP stall him, he only got paralyzed, fully paralyzed twice. So you know what, these coconuts, you did your job, you played the stall game right back at it. And another mistake I made here was going for the Avalanche for whatever reason. It's got thick fat, but for whatever reason, I don't even realize it later in the game when I'm about to take out the Miltank. And at this point, I'm kind of thinking he is definitely out of milk drinks, because I think it has a maximum of 16 PP. So now he's just going to try and stall as many turns as he possibly can on Organo with, with the toxic damage. So I beat him at his own game, just stalling him out. PP stalling, I know that's not necessarily the best way to do it, but when you got a Miltank and don't really have an answer to it, that's really the best you can hope for. So please don't hate on me too bad. I did what I got to do. I sped it up so that it was nowhere near as painful for you guys as it was for me. So he's going to go for the body slam, just get some damage off, and that's going to do a crit. And for whatever reason, I'm stupid. I constantly forget about the thick fat, and like right there, I realized by that damage was like, oh shit, it has thick fat, so that ice attack is going to do absolutely nothing. So it's going to body slam me. I know it's not going to take me out because of the crit damage that happened, and a waterfall is going to take out the Miltank, and that was the first Pokemon and last Pokemon to go down. So that thing was a problem. Miltanks tend to be a problem, like all throughout Pokemon, and yeah, I had a lot of fun with that battle with Darkoni, except for the Miltank. If you guys like that battle, hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to subscribe if you hadn't already, and leave a comment suggesting some new Pokemon for me to use. I'm really liking the NU tier, so I'm going to try and keep it in that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Bye.